Welcome back everyone to Pineleaf Plays the Burglar. Last time we had a little peek as to Frodo's decision matter on what to do with the ring. Now it's time for us to speak with Galadriel and find out what it all means.
This is one possibility among many. It is a troubling one, to be certain.
The mirror shows many things, Petronella, and not all of them come to pass. But this is one possibility among many, and it is a troubling one, to be certain. They may have need of your help. I want you to travel south along the river Anduin, Petronella, and to see what has befallen our mutual friends. None of the visions I have seen in the waters give me any hope that they have avoided the dangers into which they walk. If you can aid them, even the smallest way, it may be enough. Nona will go with you, if she still desires to do so. I have known her for just a short time, but I do not think she wishes for anything but to adventure with you. Let her be an aid to you on a dangerous road. Very well.
You will need a guide to bring you to the Falls of Rauros.
But there are few of my people who ever traveled as far south as Rauros. No, do not shake your head in frustration. There is a guide who will suffice. His name is Corydon, and he is the elder brother of Sigalith. Yes, I see you remember our fierce champion. Without her twin knives and the skill with which she wielded them, the efforts of the Golden Host might have come to naught. Her death in the Battle of the Tower is cause for grief in all who knew her. You will find her brother's is cut from similar cloth. But if Corydon shares her ability, he does not share her temperament. Find him in Talain Nedwil in the eastern side of Caris Galathan, and tell him of your need of him as a guide along the Anduin. He is not called the River Walker for naught. He is more familiar with the lands through which the Anduin flows than any elf in Lorien. Very well. Then let us speak with Corydon, brother of Sigalith. And here is Corydon.
The lady has spoken to me about this, and I would refuse her nothing.
But there is another reason I would help you. You were a friend of my sister Sigalith in Mirkwood. When the Hidden Guard and the Golden Host journeyed to the fastness of Dol Guldur, you fought alongside Sigalith. How many times did you save her life, or she yours? I do not know, but I am certain it was more than once. I wish that the tides of fate had swept the two of you together during the final assault on the tower, rather than apart. For had the two of you been together on the stairs, perhaps she would have returned from Mirkwood. But it is not to be. That is the way of things. I would have honored to be accompanying you south to the Anduin. Sigalith's friends are mine as well. We will need supplies, boats and limbus and paddles. Speak with Borthries and Fingolf about acquiring such things that we will need. Borthries will be at Talain Galathreme, and Fingolf will be near the surrounding hedge beneath the Talain Gloriloth, not far from the entrance of Caris Galathan. Very well. All those names that are quite a mouthful for this hobbit. Hello, Fingolf. I'm in need of a boat and paddles for a journey down the Anduin.
The Lady Galadriel is wise to send Corydon as your guide.
You need a boat for navigating the Anduin. Yes, I will provide one, and paddles besides. How many will you be going with you? Well, we will need Nona, myself, and Corydon. The Lady Galadriel is wise to send Corydon with you. He is called the River Walker, you know, and it is a name truly given. He knows the land on either side of the Anduin better than any elf I know. His sister Sigalith perished in Dol Guldur, where We were not close, she and I, for she had a temper unlike anyone else, and to me she was always sharp and stern. It's a shame what happened to her, even so. I am certain she did great damage to the enemies before she fell, and that must be a consolation to Corydon in his grief. The boat and the paddles will be ready when the time comes for you to depart, Petronella. Very well. Now to Galathrim to get that limbus, and better pack a little bit extra because we've got a hobbit in the party. And of course we'll inevitably run into Bingo and Willem Whisker. So I'm pretty sure that Willem Whisker isn't going to be much for Lambeth. Probably just go hunting for some small game in the woods or something like that. Hello there. I guess Bortrist.
I will give you enough lembas and other foodstuffs for 2 weeks.
You are preparing for a journey down the Anduin. You have come to the correct elf, Petronella. I will supply you with enough limbus and other good such for such a journey. Traveling by boat will require you to disembark occasionally. There is a portage way you will need to take around the rapids of Sarngebir. Do not be so foolish as to traverse those in a boat. And of course you will need to beach them before you reach the falls of Raras. It is a long climb down the cliff face, but I have heard there was a way that was used of old. I will give you enough limbus and other foodstuff for 2 weeks. Corydon can cover the distance in 5 or 6 days. That should suffice. Namarie. Namarie. Okay, well, or something close to that, I presume. But I guess the extra is to account for the presence of hobbits. All is arranged.
The last time I traveled south, orcs were gathering on the river bank.
You've done as I asked? Good. The most important step of a journey occurs before you even leave home. The preparations for your departure. Make sure your weapons are cleaned and ready. The last time I traveled south, which was some weeks ago, orcs were gathering on the shore of the Anduin. We may need to face them. Well, I've already faced plenty enough, and there are also Easterlings down there, by the way. I should make a note of that. Yes, unfortunately, I lent my bow to Fimloth at Halderith on my return from that journey. Perhaps we can stop by her encampment when we depart, and I can recover my bow from her. I will use a spare until then, but there is nothing quite like your own familiar weapons, is there not? Siglet spoke often of her knives, Lahigil and Ignasigil, and I feel the same about my bow, though it has no name. My sister was always better with names. But now you should return to the house of Celeborn and speak with your Dunlending friend. Tell her we're almost ready to leave. All right. Then let's get on our way. I wonder, why would he lend his bow to somebody else? After all, when you talk about your favorite weapon or something like that, do you just go lend it to someone else? Because it's probably been optimized for your use, for your physical strength, to get the most of your agility and strength and all that stuff optimized for your size. And you would think that if you're an elf, you would have the time in which to craft a bow that is just perfect for your physical properties and for your skills. And then you're going to lend it to someone else who's going to have a different set of skills, probably? Sounds a bit strange. You'd think she would have her own bow. Oh well.
Wadu's sword is thirsty for more adventure.
Of course, then again, she's using Wadu's sword. So, whatever. I followed you here on the behest of a dream, Petronella. I will follow you wherever our road leads. I guess in this case, since I didn't go through Dunland, she came here on behest of a dream to find me. Okay, we'll go with that. Yes, if our adventure ended today, I would already have quite a tale to tell Suvelik on my return. I cannot imagine what awaits us, but it will only add to the record of our deeds. One whose sword is thirsty for more adventure as well. If we come across more Easterlings, or their fell ally, as we did in the swamps, I will be more than ready than I was last time. I'll be more ready than last time. Yes, the fell ally was a Nazgul. I completely missed that part, of course, because that was in the previous book.
This land of elves is a long way from Enidwaith. A long way from my people.
I am grateful for the healing arts of Galadriel and her people, and for the lady's willingness for me to see her city. But there is something strange about this place, and I must tell you the truth. It is no place for me. I want my feet upon the ground and my foes in front of me. This land of elves is a long way from Enidwaith, a long way from my people. I am ready to depart, Petronella. Perhaps things will feel more familiar to me once we journey south along the river. Let's go then. With all this bouncing back and forth between storylines I'm most likely to have, I decided to get a second milestone skill. Hopefully that will be useful at some point in the future. Very well, Corridon. Looks like we made it to Haldorit. Do you have your bow back?
I lent my favorite bow to Fimloth, and now she has lost it.
What? Yes, I am not pleased about this, Petronella. I lent Fimloth my favorite bow to use while I remained in Lothlorien, and now she's lost it. No, Fimloth, I'm not upset. If those orcs were as numerous as you report, you were right to flee. A bow is a bow, and the lives of my friends come first. I will search the woods of Thingolad for the orc that picked it up while you escaped. Are you of a mind to join in the hunt, Petronella? Your Dunlending friend has already agreed to fight the orcs with me as well. Perhaps we could make a game of it. The first of us to find my lost bow will be the victor, but I shall be happiest of all to have the bow back in my hands. Well, I'm just wondering if the bow is taken by an orc, it could get damaged or something like that and thus no longer be useful as a favorite bow. Just a possibility on that matter. Now, I'm certainly not unused to killing the orcs that are in this area. So we will have to find some of them and see if any of them has an extra bow that doesn't belong to them. Not that it's all that unusual for orcs to have stolen weapons in the first place, but that's an entirely different matter. Now, where are these orcs? Oh, there's an orc right there. There you go. There you go. And whack, whack, whack. Hello, just gaining more practice before I head on. One orc down and no bow found. Next. Yep, more orcs. Ooh, I wonder. I keep on forgetting to... And that's why I keep on forgetting, because... Yeah. They rarely have something in their deep pockets. Especially since the object here is to kill the orcs. So, that's what's the funny thing about the Burglar skill, is that you go on and burgle something. So how is it that you do get something from them that you would have gotten if you just killed them anyway? Since that's probably what you're going to do right afterwards, such as I did right there. So why bother with the burgling? Well, there's always the little funny thematic things that are added, even though when you think about it, it doesn't exactly make too much sense necessarily. Oh well. That's RPGs for you. We call it MMO logic. Of course, Dracula is always making fun of Pineleaf logic, so perhaps maybe it's best that I not bring up that matter too much. Now, I did not find any bows on the orcs, so perhaps Coronir had better luck on the matter.
You did not find the bow. Nona and I did not either.
The orc that seized it must have already left the area. A pity. This bare bow does not fire as accurately as the other did. I am still a deadly shot, Petronella. Do not worry on that score. Ooh, did you know how dangerous Nona is in combat? I did not think the Dunlendings were more than barbaric, hill-dwelling men, but she is a deadly warrior indeed. I underestimated her, and I would not do so again. If we are surprised by orcs as we journey further along the Anduin, I will be glad to have her along. And on the same side, I'm sure.
Whatever orc took the bow must have fled the area.
You did not find the bow either. We did not. He seemed surprised, but I was not. Whatever orc took the bow must have known an elf would come looking for it and fled. This orc is lucky he did, for its hunters numbered 3, 1 hobbit, 1 ucluth, and an elf. Flight alone would have saved it. I am sorry Corridon does not have his favorite bow, but I still enjoy the hunt. Do you think you can humor me with one count, Petronella? I understand we must hurry, but this should not take long. Oh, and what's that?
Let us take a detour to Stangard, so I can thank Horn.
When we were last in this region, I was wounded in the swamp, and you brought me to the nearby outpost of the Horse Lords. I was a wounded enemy to everyone there save one, the Rohirrim man called Horn. He spoke on my behalf, and when you suggested that I be taken to the Wood Elves and technically, okay, we're even forgetting about the fact that I skipped that part of the story. It was Horn's idea in the first place, even with that, even if I were there. Oh, really? Horn? Well, that is one more thing for which I should thank him then. And that is what I want, Petronella. A brief detour to the outpost of Stangard, so that I could give him my thanks. Perhaps you can have him meet me here? I do not think I would be welcome once again within their walls. Well, based on what I've heard so far, probably not. So, to Stangard. This time we are asked to speak with Offie here, rather than with our friend Sobert, and I'm sure that this man will totally have no idea who I am and that I helped them in all those things in previous rounds. So therefore, that's why we're talking to him this time.
You were looking for Horn. Good. Take him with you.
Yes. If you're looking for Horn, take him with you. Take him and be gone. You will find him up the hill. Well, they're not happy with Horn, apparently. What, for suggesting that we take her to Lothlorien? Well, I suppose that wouldn't make them happy. Let's take a Dunlending to Lothlorien. Our two favorite things all put together. Whee! Hello there, Horn, whom the quest assumes that I've met before, even though I've yet set sight of you, except maybe passing up and down on occasion, as I was doing quests for other people.
How is the Dunlending girl? Did she survive?
I did not think to see you again, Petronella. Did she survive? Yes, the healing arts of the Galadriel were sufficient, and Nona has come to Thingol and wishes to thank you. Oh, I see. I'm glad of it. It seems that there is no place for me here anymore, Petronella. I am no longer welcome in Stangard, which is rather strange when you consider that this is a place where people are sent as for punishment in the first place. So yes, you're not allowed in the punishment place anymore. Ha ha ha. My fellows feel that I have been somehow tainted by stepping foot within the elf woods, and by speaking on behalf of a Dunlending. Well, they no longer trust me. They want me to leave by sunrise tomorrow. Anything I can do to help with that? Well, I do not have many possessions. If you would bring me my harp and my writing supplies, and I will be ready to go. My harp is in the tavern, and my writing supplies are in Wada's house, where I've been staying. Very well. Let's then go and pick up a harp and some writing supplies. Probably not the best way to store a harp, but it'll have to do, I guess. Now for the supplies. I must admit that I had completely forgotten that there's a legendary item vendor here in Stangard. And look at this. Burglar's dagger of the 3rd age. I can easily afford it. And that's probably, once I do put some work into it, it'll probably be better than my current level 71. Probably also an improvement. Oh yes, I can upgrade both of these pretty easily. Ooh, I really should have paid attention to that. They're just, just go to Burglar only. Yeah, right. I'm gonna get myself a dagger and some tools, and that'll be something, a nice souvenir to leave with. His writing supplies consist of a single pen? Really? I was expecting something more sophisticated than that. I think Horn will have trouble convincing Nona that Wada's pen is mightier than Wadu's sword.
I am not welcome in Stangard, but where can I go?
Thank you for bringing me this. I am not welcome in Stangard, so where will I go? By order of Theoden King, I am not to return to Rohan until my term of service in Stangard is finished. Where are you traveling, Petronella? Could you use another companion on the road? I do not wish to intrude, but I believe my place is with you and with the Dunlending girl, for whom I gave up, well, everything. It was no life I gave up, though. I only did what was right, though my fellows fail to see it. You're welcome to travel with us, if you will. Thank you, Petronella. I owe you a great deal for this. An aimless life would ill suit me. Your goals are now mine, and the dangers you face, I will face as well. Very well. Now, let's head back to Nona. I was about to head for the stable master when I remembered. Isn't that the reason why I bought the extra milestone, so I can get here quickly? Hello, Nona. I'm back, and we're going to have another passenger.
This confirms what I suspected about the Horse Lords. Cruel even to their own.
Yes. Well, and they're not deserving of our sympathies at all. I will speak with Horn, thank him for his words on my behalf, and give him my sorrow of that he has suffered for me. But I will also tell him that he is now better off, and need shed no tears for his lost fellows. We will be ready to leave when Corridon says we should go. Speak with him when you are ready. All right.
Our band of companions grows.
Yes, a Dunling girl, a Rohirrim man, an elf, and a halfling. Sounds like a joke, does it not? Yeah.
We will still fit in the one boat, but it will not be comfortable.
Well then, how will this journey go with the four of us? We'll find that out in the next episode of Piney Plays The Burglar.